Hey everyone, it's Marin, and today I'm doing my part 2 video about my jaw surgery. So this video is going to be all about my experience and everything I went through, and I'm just going to go through every part that I can remember. So I wrote down all the stuff that So as I was saying, I wrote down everything I could remember. This video is off to a great start. So if I'm looking down a lot, it's just because I'm looking at my notes. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. So I watched a bunch of these jaw surgery experience videos, and I had a little bit of a different experience than a lot of the videos that I watched, but I still had similarities, of course. But I'm just going to talk about my experience. So I'm just going to start off with my braces. So in 2013, I think, is when I got my braces, and I got them in November. I got my bottom braces on first, and then about 6 months later I got my top braces. So I will insert pictures and videos, if I have them, of what my teeth looked like back then, all that kind of stuff. So in my previous video I explained that my bottom teeth were leaning this far back, and then my upper teeth were, you know, kind of laying on top like that. So I needed braces to straighten that out, but then it would, you know, become more of an underbite. So then that's when they realized that I needed the jaw surgery to move my jaw back. A couple weeks before I got the surgery, they put surgical wires on my braces. So it's just the same thing as a regular wire, but they have little spikes, I don't know what else to call them, but in between some of your teeth so that they can rubber band your mouth shut after the surgery. And then the day of the surgery, the night before, I had to take a shower in antibacterial soap, and then I had to do the same thing in the morning, and that's just to decrease the risk of infection. So the morning of December 3rd, I went into the hospital at around 6 in the morning, and they had me change into a gown. I wasn't allowed to wear anything other than that, but I started my period the day before, so they gave me some underwear and a giant diaper pad. So TMI, but I'm just saying, if you get jaw surgery and you have your period, just tell them. You're not allowed to wear a tampon in surgery, I learned, so just a tip. So then after that, the anesthesiologist came in, and he was kind of cute, and I was not looking my best. So then right before I was about to go to the room to get my surgery done, the anesthesiologist put something in my IV that was supposed to calm me down or something. I don't know. I was already calm, but I guess he does that for everybody. When they took me into the room, they had me get on the table, you know, all this regular stuff that you guys already probably know. And then the nurse put my arms out like this, and then I saw the surgeon putting up my x-rays on the wall, and then I don't remember anything after that. And I woke up in the ICU, and when I woke up, I heard a man throwing up, and that was really not a good experience. But that's the only thing I remember from being in the ICU. And then I woke up in my room a while later. The surgery lasted for about 6 hours, I believe, and then I had another hour in the recovery room. So that first day I was in and out all the time. I was never awake for very long. But I woke up with ice, you know, like an ice packet around my head. Like I said, I'll insert pictures so you guys know what I'm talking about. And I recommend that you have your parents or whoever's with you bring a clipboard and some paper with a pen, because that's how you're going to be able to communicate. Because I don't know about other people, but I could not open my mouth, move my lips, or anything like that. The first 5 or 6 days I couldn't move my mouth at all. So before your surgery, they'll ask you which nostril you breathe out of best, so that they can put a tube up that nostril so that it can go in so that you can breathe during the surgery. And apparently when they did that for me, I bled a lot out of my nose. So I think that caused me to not be able to breathe very well, because Oh my god, I could not breathe well at all the entire first week after my surgery. It was horrible. I didn't see anybody else in any of the videos that I watched that had that much trouble breathing, but I had so much trouble. So I hope that doesn't happen to any of you watching this video, but it was probably the worst week of my life just because of that. So when I woke up, I had a splint in between my top teeth and my bottom teeth, and that's just basically a piece of plastic that keeps those teeth in line so that they settle well, I think. I'm not a doctor. And then they rubber banded my mouth shut using those spikes on my braces. So I didn't have any big complications during my surgery, but if you do, they might have to wire you shut, but that's pretty rare, I think. So I just had the rubber bands, which is normal. I also woke up with stitches on this side of on both of these sides of my jaws. They're really small, but that's where they put the screws into your jaw. I also had a scab right here in the middle of my forehead, right between my eyebrows, because they put some sort of needle thing, I don't know, to keep everything in line. So I woke up with that. I did not bleed anymore after the surgery. A lot of the videos that I watched had people talking about how they had a bunch of nosebleeds after their surgery. I did not have any nosebleeds. Even though I had a lot of bleeding trouble during the surgery, I did not have any more bleeding after the surgery. Even though a lot of people had that experience, not everybody does, I guess. So that's nice. I don't like nosebleeds. Immediately when I woke up, I wanted water and apple juice. Those two things were basically what I drank, the first couple days, and honestly they tasted really good. I just felt really dehydrated after the surgery. They fed it to me through a syringe because that's how I ate the first week and a half. I had to use the syringe because my mouth was rubber banded shut and all that, so you're gonna have to eat through a syringe if you're getting jaw surgery. It's not that bad. So every time I stood up and got out of bed, I felt really lightheaded because 1, I wasn't eating much, and 2, my head was super swollen and I just got surgery. My head just felt so big, and well, because it was. I'm glad I got the surgery done. I wouldn't do it again. So they only have you stay one night and then you go home the next day, unless you have some serious complications with your surgery, but I did not, so I went home the next day. So the next day I had x-rays taken because, I don't know, and when they took me down there, I had to stand in this one x-ray machine and I almost fainted. It was so scary. I started getting tunnel vision and I was super sweaty. I couldn't speak. I turned and I was then I'm pointing at the wheelchair, and so they were like, oh my gosh, and so they brought the chair over and I sat in it and I almost fainted, but I didn't. They brought down a hospital bed and then they brought me back up on that because your girl was sweating and I was not having it. That was not fun, but it was all good. It was all good. So as I said, I couldn't talk, I couldn't move my lips, I could barely breathe through my nose because this is kind of gross, but there was crusted blood inside, so I couldn't breathe, you know. But to help this, the nurse gave me some nasal spray with Afrin in it. This stuff was my holy grail this week. If you have trouble breathing, get nasal spray with Afrin. It is so good. This nurse gave me this nasal spray stuff, and you have to spray it so that it goes all the way into the back of your throat and drips down your throat. It's really gross, I know, but it works. So before I was leaving, obviously I can't talk, but I was writing this stuff down. So I was like, can I take the nasal spray with me? And she was like, I don't think we can do that. I quickly wrote, I was like, I'm not leaving this hospital unless I can take this nasal spray, because I could not breathe. It was really bad. So I was just like, I'm not leaving unless I can take this. So she was like, okay, we'll ask the doctor. So she came back with the doctor and he said that I could take it home, and I was like, thank the Lord, because I honestly don't think I would be able to breathe without that nasal spray, because it was so horrible. I don't mean to scare you, but I don't think that happens to everybody, but it happened to me, and I'm just warning you. Nasal spray with Afrin, okay? You will thank me. So after that, my parents drove me home, and I immediately laid down on the couch, and I stayed there for so long. I just laid there all day, and I slept there, slept when I could. I didn't sleep very well. In the videos that I watched of people's experiences, a lot of them recommended that you get some sort of lip balm or anything. So I got Carmex because apparently these people's lips got really dry and started peeling, and I was not about to have that. So I just took their advice and I got some Carmex and I just applied it like all day long. And oddly enough, my lips still get really dry. Before the surgery, my lips weren't that dry. I don't know if that's just like because of that or if it's just the weather. I don't know. So I personally recommend that you have somebody with you all the time, or at least somebody at your house. I couldn't get up to feed myself because I just would feel so lightheaded. So I just had my dad. He would bring a cup of apple juice or something, or water, and then he'd give me the syringe, and then I'd, like put it in the syringe and put it in my mouth. So it's really good to have people at home with you so that they can help take care of you. I just recommend it. I mean, you could do it without having people around you, I guess, but it's a lot easier when you have help. The pain was really not that bad. I did have pain medicine. It was codeine, and I still have some left. I didn't use all of it, so. And I had to take all my other medicines in liquid form, so I had the medicine that I usually take, I had to get that in liquid form. Then I got the pain meds, I had antibacterial medicine, and I feel like there was one other thing, but I can't remember what it was. So I had to take those every morning and every night, and none of them tasted good at all. It was just not good. I didn't really need that much pain medicine, honestly, because I was numb from this part all the way down. So my entire face was numb. Like my bottom, right under my eyes, even that was numb, and I was not expecting that. But none of my forehead was numb. It was just from here down. So I couldn't feel the pain because I couldn't feel my face. So I didn't really need that much pain medicine until the second week when the numbness started going away. I actually am still numb right here. My bottom lip is still a little numb, and I can feel it, but I can still tell that it's really numb. And then my chin is numb. I can't even, like when I touch here, I can't feel that at all. My surgeon says that that is normal and that it will come back later if it ever comes back. So the first week I basically just drank water, apple juice. I actually got my dad to make green smoothies for me, and I didn't drink much of those. I don't know, they just didn't taste very good. But I also drank Ensure, which is like a chocolate milk kind of drink that has all the vitamins you need and stuff. So I drank that, and that's basically all that I ate for the first few days. And then later on that week I was able to eat potatoes through a syringe. I had my dad make potatoes, and he had to add a bunch of milk to it so that it could go through the syringe, but that stuff was really good. So the first week, because I was on that liquid diet, I lost a total of 11 pounds just in 1 week, which is really bad, but I gained like twice that much back. So I didn't take a shower for a week, which is kind of gross, but I was just so weak. I don't have a shower on my first floor, so the shower that I was going to use would be on the second floor. So I just didn't have enough. I was just so weak, so I couldn't walk up the stairs without fainting for the first week. And so after the first week, I was able to go upstairs, and I put a plastic outdoor chair in the shower so that I could sit while I showered, because I still wasn't very strong, but I really wanted to take a shower because I was so gross. And actually taking a shower really helped my breathing. It cleared up my nose a lot. So if you have trouble breathing and you have access to a shower, that's like on the first floor or something, then I would recommend taking a shower because it really helped my breathing. Since I couldn't take a shower and I couldn't really get up to wash my face, I got these Burt's Bees grapefruit wipes, and I would just wipe my face and like my neck area. After my surgery, my surgeon told us that I should put a piece of tape like right across here, I don't know, to hold things together, I guess, I don't know. That tape would just start to smell really bad. So after I would change the tape, I would always wipe my face down with the Burt's Bees grapefruit wipes because they would make my face smell good and it would take away the gross smell of the tape. Like the first 2 days I was allowed to use ice around my face, which felt so good, but then after that they told me that I had to switch to heat around my face because apparently it decreases the swelling faster. So I had a lot of trouble figuring out what form of heat to use because they gave us a face wrap and I just didn't know what to put in it. So what I ended up doing was getting those, I don't know if you guys know what the hand packs are. I think you can get them at CVS. When you open them and then you kind of rub them together, they heat up, and they're just like these little packs, maybe about this big, and then they heat up, and people usually put them in their gloves in the winter or socks, I don't know, whatever you want to do. So I put those in the pockets of the face wrap that they gave me, and that helped a lot. It was not too heavy on my face. So about 6 days post surgery, I was able to open my mouth just a little under 2 weeks. I went to see my orthodontist and my surgeon. They just kind of looked at my mouth. So my surgeon actually took off my splint and my rubber bands the first time I saw him after my surgery, and then he had me do some lip exercises, but that was actually really hard because I couldn't feel my lips at all, so it was quite difficult. So I wasn't back to normal eating until about 2 to 3 months after my surgery because obviously I just got my jaw broken. This side of my face worked better than this side because I had more trouble on this side. So I still actually can't move this side as much as I can with this side, but hopefully that'll get better. Also, about 2 or 3 weeks after my surgery, I had a huge acne flare-up. It was probably the worst breakout I ever had, and it kind of just stayed with me for several months until I went to a dermatologist. I'll put in some pictures of what my skin looked like and how bad my acne was. It's just like the worst breakout I've ever personally had, but after I went to the dermatologist like 3 months after, my skin is a lot better. I mostly just have scars from that acne, but I don't know if that's just a correlation to the surgery or a causation. I'm just putting that in there because it was, you know, right after the surgery. If you want, I could do like a skincare video on how I cleared up my acne, but most of the things I use are prescription. If you want a skincare video, even though most of my stuff is prescription, then just let me know. So as you can see, I do not have any braces on, but my teeth are not finished. I just had to get them off for something else because I had to get some scans and I'm not allowed to wear braces in those scans. So I had Invisalign during that time so that my teeth wouldn't move at all. And after that, I had a tooth positioner, which is basically, I don't know, it looks like a mouth guard, but it pushes your teeth into a certain position that you want to be in. Right now I'm not using anything. They're just having my teeth settle in, whatever that means. So that's all I have for this video. If you have any questions of anything else that I might have forgotten to talk about, or if you have any questions about what I did talk about, you can just put them in the comments and I will answer all of them, or I'll try to answer all of them. So I hope this helped you guys at all. Even if you're not getting jaw surgery, maybe you were just interested, I don't know. You clicked on this video for some reason, so. I showed this in my last video, but I'll show it again in case you didn't see it. So this is what my mouth looks like. Those are all of the plates and screws that I have in my jaws and in my chin. So, I don't know, maybe you wanted to see that. But that's all I have for this video. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!